I'm pretty sure that one of the most pertinent question as an online educator that runs in our mind is how can I make the online classroom experience more exciting for my students? Isn't it? So here are 8 tricks or tips that I would like to share with you, and you can see that how the world of your virtual classes gets a transformation after hearing these tips, and you have to implement them. So the first is that present yourself in online in the best way. So if your students can see you through a webcam, make sure that you not only do look presentable, but also the location that you are in does too. This is important because you can just very simply choose a simple background. These eliminates distractions for your student. If you are using PowerPoint presentations, make your slides look very clean and use a good quality of video recording. If you are trying to tell them something, work on your voice, the way you deliver your content. Introduce with a good tempo, with high energy, and try to practice your storytelling skills that really works. This makes a huge difference and encourages your students a lot to remain engaged in your online class. Tip number 2 is use the technology to your advantage. That the world has become online and teaching has become online, it has its own challenges. I know that. I have been through that journey very well. But at the same time, this entire panoramic shift has also helped us with many virtual technical skills and tools with which you can explain to your students very well. So, you don't need to buy new tools or buy softwares. You can do gamification in your lectures. You can do any small animations in your lectures right by using your PowerPoint. It is that simple. For that, you definitely need to delve in down, put in a bit of more time, because this is not just coming in front of your a whole class of students and talking, because when you are teaching offline and your students are looking, there are many points where you can distract them or you can pull their attention from many points, but in online we don't have that flexibility. So we should use technology to our advantage. This will help you to engage your students and encourage them to come back to your class again and again. Very important tip number 3 is to identify what exactly interests your student, what inspires your student. That is very important because just like a face to face classroom, the real key in getting on your online students involved is to find out what is that one thing which really they like, and they will try to stick to your online class. So for example, if you are teaching biology or if you are teaching anatomy, in a normal face to face classroom, what would have happened is that you come up with the models or you have some PPT to show them, even you tell them to open the textbook and refer that when you are lecturing. But in an online class, what you can do is you can engage them just by first starting to play a music even before starting your class. So that gives them a mindset of relaxation, and they feel more attracted to your class and they will be more engaged with you and they will listen very carefully to whatever you are telling. Number 4, set short term goals for your students. Like, for example, what used to happen, in an offline class, like suppose our English teacher has come, so they tell us, okay, read this paragraph from this book. they will, teacher tells us to stand up and we start reading. Now, here in an online class, uh, think about giving your students certain rewards if they complete a certain task within a small span of time. This sense of reward will push your student more and more to get engaged with you in your online class. It is all about giving them the sense that they are actually with you and you are actually with them. Just encourage them to come up on camera, or just give them certain small tasks that will help them, and if help them to understand the subject better, as well as you can give them short term goals to be completed and discuss with those things in your class. You can make a schedule of it, and you can do this suddenly as sudden surprises. Everybody likes surprises. Number 5 is to keep it interactive. In a face to face class, sometimes we have all experienced, I hope you will agree with that, that sometimes when the class is going at certain point, maybe depending on the subject that is taught, teachers used to tell us, okay, let's just keep quiet for some time and try to think that, just try to think what I told you. Here, the challenge in online is that there is no scope of silence. Once you become silent, that silence actually doesn't turn out to be valuable. It gives the student an escape pathway to drift elsewhere. They may, because you cannot always ask to come up on video and you can really don't see what they are doing. So plan activities in a way to engage your students that throughout your session, they don't get a chance to move out somewhere else to freaking inside Instagram reels or seeing Facebook stories and stuff like that. You can do these by including gamifications, making sure that they are getting involved. You can also give them some quizzes to be solved instantaneously. And also, you can tell them to do something, some activity like some drawing, and many things like this. So, gamification is one important tip which you can use in your online education system, where you make them engaged. So that is how you become very interactive. Number 6 point is that here one thing we have to understand, in online it is not about giving the whole thing at one time. So what I mean is that this 6th point is very, very important. Break down your lessons into small bits, make it digestible. Let it be several sessions, but keep it small, crisp, and with a good break. Now, if you continuously keep teaching the same thing, it is very difficult, even for you as a teacher, to deliver that content in a better way. So, plan your lessons beforehand, and you can give them recorded versions as well. That is one of the most key way how you can help your students understand the subject better. Number 7, make your students feel very important. Value your students, whether you are with a group of 10 students, 20 students, or 100 students. Because when mostly the number becomes big, particularly in online classrooms, they think, the student mindset is that, okay, my teacher is not noticing me, and it doesn't matter whether I'm here or whether I'm not here. So, the best way to overcome this particular problem and make your students feel valued is that learn your students' names. So you can call randomly by their name and tell, hey, did you understand? Could you understand this thing? So, how was your day? Maybe just put up this as a question at the end of your session. So that means the student feels that your eyes are still constantly following them. And it is a good way to ask your students even whether they like this class or not. Call out their names and ask them to give feedback. So, this is very encouraging and very, very important for your students when they feel that they are really connected to the teacher. Number 8, very important in an online platform, is to be patient, because it's all about technology. Because sometimes some students get engaged and stimulated with an easy task, and sometimes some kids are not very, not very much fluent with how they are doing it, or they cannot focus at a particular time. So give them short break every now and then. So if you are planning a class of 1 hour, make it a point that at least you have 2 to 3 breaks inside it. That makes a very good thing for you yourself when you are delivering the content, and for your students to revive back, because keeping a attention span or concentration constantly for 1 or 2 hours is a very, very difficult task for both on a teacher who is teaching online as well as a student. I hope these 8 tips were valuable, and now that you got inspired, and if you haven't started teaching online, let me tell you, there is always a demand and supply chain running in any business, in any field. Come up, come up, encourage yourself to grab these technologies, to grab these opportunities where you can mentor others for what they need. And I hope you like this video. Share in the comments your vision about being an online teacher if you haven't started. And don't forget to subscribe my channel, and I'll come back with more such valuable information to make these online platforms more exciting for you as a teacher and for you as a student as well. Thank you. Take care. Bye bye.